Many people find truly scary things on Google Maps, and I wondered just how scary the things you can find there could be. It turns out that many of these strange places and scary things actually exist. But what are they really, and why do they exist at all? Let's figure it all out. This video got 178 million views. In it, a person is casually browsing Google Maps and then finds this strange thing in the desert. Yes, you immediately see this weird crop circle here. There are also a few buildings, but the creepiest part is when they switched to Street View and saw very strange silhouettes that seem to be watching whoever took the photo. But when they turn around, they see other statues that look somewhat like ghosts. Is this real? Can you find this scary location with incomprehensible ghosts on Google Maps? It turns out you can. This place is located in Nevada, USA. If you scroll down to this point, you'll find the exact same crop circle they were looking at. But if we try to look closely at what's there, we really do see the exact same crop circle, except it's just a pile of rocks. But if you zoom in, you'll see the exact same ghost. The creepiest part is right behind you though. When you turn around, you'll see another ghost. And if you keep moving right, you'll see even more ghosts. Now for the main question. Why are they here? Ghosts located somewhere in the American desert. Is there a hidden, terrifying truth to this place? Well, not really. Everything we see here is actually a museum, and that explains why there are so many people just walking around. Its full name is the Goldwell Open Air Museum, founded in 1984. And yes, you can see many different statues here, including the ghost statue. For example, this statue called Ghost Rider is very special. It looks a lot like a sheet just holding onto a bicycle. As an art piece, it's very interesting. There's also this sculpture called The Last Supper from 1984. There's even a full description of this piece. It was created by Albert Schukowski and is based on Leonardo da Vinci's very popular painting. Pretty scary and creepy if you don't know the full story. But now let's talk about a Google Maps discovery located in Japan. If you zoom in on this specific location, you'll notice a lot of people wearing pigeon masks. And the creepiest part is that they are all looking in the same direction. But as soon as you walk past them and turn around, they are still looking right at you. This situation broke the internet. We have a second video from another person showing that the pigeons are watching you too. I decided to go onto Google Maps myself and see it with my own eyes, and what I saw shocked me, because when I looked at that exact place, I saw that these pigeons were blurred out. But if you go back just a little bit, you can still see those same pigeon masks, which tells us that these people in pigeon masks were waiting for whoever was walking by with the camera. Another interesting fact is that this isn't the only place with pigeon-masked people. I discovered that if you enter these coordinates in Japan, you'll end up in a place where if you enter Street View, you can see another person in a pigeon mask. The most interesting part is that this person isn't blurred like the previous ones, and the people in the background are completely blurred. But this person is just standing still, looking straight into the Google Maps camera. It seems to be located somewhere in a restaurant. But who are these people in pigeon masks? Maybe it's some secret society in Japan, or just a prank? The answer is neither. Actually, the authors of a very popular Japanese blog somehow found out where the Google team would be. Inspired by the fact that they could stand there and do whatever they wanted, they decided to pull a prank. And it turned into not just a harmless joke, but a massive event that was later discussed all over the internet. It is also said online that the people in pigeon masks weren't waiting for a van driving by filming for Google Maps, but specifically for a person carrying a camera on their shoulder. And after that, they just stared at this man everywhere he went. Now the question is, why are they blurred out? I have a theory that many people on the internet started making up creepy theories, so the Google Maps moderators decided to blur them out so as not to scare other people. people. But I think this whole Google Maps discovery is pretty funny and amusing. But the next Google Maps discovery is very strange. Another place where something creepy was found is in Brazil. If you go to this spot on the coast, everything seems pretty normal, even beautiful. But when you look down, you'll see anonymous masks staring right at you. In internet culture, these masks are often associated with hackers who can hack into anything. So many people believe that Google Maps was hacked at some point, and the hackers decided to leave this mark in the imagery. But that's highly unlikely. I also found these masks a little further ahead. It seems they are hiding something. It's either a car or something else. But for now, as we can see, they are just floating in the air. But what do they mean? To be honest, it's a very strange discovery that remains a mystery to many on the internet. We can also talk about the Japanese village found on Google Maps, where all the residents are dolls. Yes, I found this other video where if you zoom into the map at this location and go anywhere on the streets, you'll notice that all the people here are not humans, they're just dolls. There is a place in Japan called Nagoro Village. If we just explore this area, right away we see strange silhouettes of supposed people. But they aren't real people, they are just dolls. Look, yes, these aren't real people. There's also this great example where if we zoom in on the image, we get a view that confirms these are all just dolls and not real people. But what is going on here? Why is there just a whole bunch of dolls looking who knows where? Maybe this whole village is haunted by ghosts. Actually, no. Everything is much sweeter than you might expect. You see, Nagoro Village used to be home to 300 people, but then that number gradually dropped to 35 residents by 2015. And by 2019, only 27 people were left in the village. That's when a resident of this town named Tsukimi Ayano decided to return to the village to care for her old father, and also to make a doll that looked very much like her father. Then she placed this doll in a field, and after that, she kept doing it over and over again. Since then, she has made over 400 such dolls. She claims that many of these dolls are exact replicas of real residents who used to live in this village. Now you can move to this village and make your own doll based on your appearance. And it seems this is the place called the Scarecrow Workshop. Even outside this place, there are many different dolls lying around. So yeah, the point of this village is that you can just come here, make your own doll, put it anywhere, and it will hang out here for as long as needed. Honestly, it's pretty cool. And what about this place near Mexico City, known as the Island of the Dolls? If you look at the island a little closer, you can see many dolls just hanging from the trees, and it all looks quite sinister and creepy. There's a whole river flowing here and a whole bunch of dolls hanging nearby. But what exactly is happening here, and what do all these dolls mean? Wikipedia says that this is the world's largest collection of haunted dolls, but it all sounds pretty bad. The history of this place began in the 20th century when a man named Don Julian Santana Barrera started collecting these dolls and hanging them around the small island. And the legend of how he decided to do this sounds very creepy. It is said that the creator of this island found the body of a dead girl one day. The next day, Barrera found a doll floating in the canal and decided it belonged to the girl. As a result, he hung the doll on a tree in memory of the dead girl. Over time, he started finding more and more dolls in the river, and it is supposed that after the death of that girl, her spirit haunts this island. But again, this is all a legend. There is no proof of this girl's existence. But he collected these dolls for a long time, and after the island creator's death, his family started opening the island to other visitors in 2001. Honestly, I think it's just a work of art that he created. But maybe in time, we'll learn the details of the island creator's story and why exactly he made this island. And now we need to talk about this strange face hiding in this road. You see, if you zoom in on this place and then go into Street View, you'll notice a face under the bridge looking straight at you. I don't know if the person who took this photo for Google Maps saw it, but it was clearly staring right at him. Yes, I saw this article online saying that the Google user who photographed this place was scared by a demonic face watching him. But what is this place actually hiding, and who is hiding there? I decided to go on Google Maps again and see what was happening here, but I didn't stumble upon that monster because it seems they blurred it. We can compare those exact photos. There is that same bottle here, just like in the photo with the monster, but we can no longer see the monster itself, as if they really blurred it out. Most likely, the Google team actually heard about this incident and wanted to blur it to cover it up. But if you look closely, we won't find it here. But still, what was it? What kind of face was just sitting there and staring at the person? Again, we can't know 100%, but the internet mentions that it could just be the bridge structure, which looks like a face with two eyes. And I can probably believe that. It really does look like a skull or some creepy face watching, but it might really just be the bridge's structure. However, the truth remains. Google hid this from us because people started panicking a lot. But now, for an even creepier thing that scared people online, it can be found in Bermuda. If you go to this place and open Street View, you'll see something strange flying in the sky, and many consider it a UFO. As long as the screen is zoomed out, it's hard to say for sure what it is. But the more you zoom in on this object in the frame, the more it looks like a spaceship to us. Even the person who filmed this TikTok used the hashtags UFO aliens, and we are not alone. I actually managed to find that exact spot. We just see people here looking at the animals in the zoo. But yes, if you turn just a little further, you can see a real alien ship. But still, is it definitely a UFO? Many say that strange things happen in Bermuda, like the Bermuda Triangle, various monsters seen in the oceans, and rumors of aliens in Bermuda. There are a couple of theories online about what it actually is. It might be a bird caught mid-flight, or a frisbee that someone threw. But there is a much more popular theory online. It says that this is just a poorly stretched image on Google Maps. Keep in mind that everything you see is one continuous image that was simply stretched to create a dome effect. So most likely it's just a small glitch in the image itself. So yeah, in a sense, we are seeing absolutely nothing in this photo. But now let's talk about the bloody lakes that people constantly find on Google Maps. Google Maps has an absolute ton of such lakes where everything seems pretty normal. There are regular lakes of classic color, but somewhere in the middle you see a completely red lake. And this isn't the only such place. There is another area where we see that the water is completely red, although there is a lot of normal, classic colored water here. And now the main question: why is this water red? There's also this lake. Why is it red? What is even happening with them? 5 years ago, someone on the internet suggested that all these lakes are red because slaughterhouses dump animal bodies in them. Because of this, the lakes are red. And many prefer to believe this because it's scarier. But actually, in this photo, we are seeing a salt lake formed due to salt evaporation. However, as they say, due to evaporative algorithms, some lakes can indeed appear too red or too green. But this specific lake is red because too much factory waste was dumped into it. And yes, this is exactly what gives the lakes their bloody color. So there is nothing scary about this, and it's just a scientific process. Well, maybe you've also found some creepy things on Google Maps. Write about it in the comments.